What is going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video, and if you guys are new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back to y'all, my fellow lads and ladies. Let's get into this build because we do got a lot going on this week. We got Act 3 coming out. We got the Rite of the Nine giving us those dungeons, so we're gonna continue our god rolls and build guides for you guys so you can get through a lot of this content with ease and making it fun at the same time. So we're gonna be using this Prismatic Warlock build that is giving us turrets upon turrets upon turrets. We're gonna have Helion going on, we're gonna have Arc Souls, we're gonna have a Stasis turret, as well as using the Finality's augment, using that AC 130 turret, shooting up all the enemies. You barely gotta do a thing. So with that, we're gonna be using the Getaway artist as our exotic so we can convert our arc grenade into arc souls and become amplified. These arc souls function as an autonomous turret. Like I said, this is a super fun build that we are getting solar to scorch and ignite. We're getting stasis to slow and freeze. We're getting that arc to just absolutely blow through people as these automatic turrets. And then to top it all off, we got ourselves that exotic from the new Sunder Doctrine dungeon, using a turret that just rains fire from the sky. So right here, we got ourselves our Prismatic subclass. I'm using Song of Flame so we can stay alive a little bit better. Plus it pairs with our Facet of Ruin. For me, I'm using Healing Rift, Balance Glide, Incendiary Snap, and then our Storm Grenade that we can convert into that Arc Soul. Now, Bleak Watcher turret will proc at the same exact time, but it will drop at your feet, so you do kind of gotta plan on that. Yes, it does have good range on it, but when you convert your arc grenade here to have that arc souls going on, this will just fall basically right at your feet, like I said. Now we're gonna have Helion as well, so when we throw down our rift, we're gonna get that solar mortar that just travels around with us and shoots those enemies. So we're having the arc souls with stasis turret and Helion all from this subclass going on. As for our fragments, we got a juicy 6 of them. So we got Facet of Ruin, our solar ignitions, as well as stasis crystals and frozen targets are gonna have basically bigger damage effects and size of those. So every frozen target that we're getting from our Bleak Watcher, as well as all the explosions that we're getting from Incendiary with Helion, as well as Song of Flame, is going to add to the Facet of Ruin. Facet of Awakening, rapidly defeating targets with light, darkness damage, or supers, generates us elemental pickups that match that. So we're gonna get Ionic Traces, Stasis Shards, as well as the Solar Flares or Fire Sprites, whatever they are called, to be able to pick those up. Facet of Honor, picking up those elemental pickups or destroying tangles grants us transcend energy of the same kind, so we're gonna get all of that, being able to become transcendent even quicker. Facet of Protection, while surrounded, we are gonna take less damage. While transcendent, this effect is increased. Facet of Dominance right here, even though we aren't really using our grenade that often, I wanted to throw that on there on top of it so we can get some jolt going on with this build as well. Just a fun extra aspect because we're going to get our grenade decently quick with this build, as well as being able to use it for Bleak Watcher that lasts a good amount of time. So while this is out, if we get this back, you could technically throw out a second one or just throw your grenade at enemies, get that jolt going on, wipe everybody out with. Last but not least, Facet of Courage, our solar arc, avoid abilities to increase damage to those targets affected by darkness. So with this build, we're going to get that stasis debuff, slow as well as freezing, and then on top of that, when we're in Transcendent, we're going to get slow and freezing. Plus, with one of our weapons, we're going to have Unraveling going on as well. So with those weapons that I was talking about, we're going to have Slice. So we're going to get Sever as well as Unraveling with these bad boys because of what we got on our Tablet of Ruin as well. Plus, this will help us to add to the Prismatic and Transcendent side of things. Aisha's Dejection right here with Reconstruction Incandescent. We're going to use Heavy Ammo Finder enhancement on that so we can have our Finality's Auger up at all times. And like I said, we're going to have that rune-scribed turret. It is a projectile that costs 3 ammo to fire. Aiming it skyward, clear of sight is the best way to do it. It automatically shoots at targets, or you can have it directed in a certain area as well. So very fun to have this going on with all the other turrets that we have. Plus, we're going to have Barrier Champion with Breach Light. We're going to have Overload with Aisa's Dejection right here. And then we are going to be able to stun Unstoppables with our exotics. So we got all 3 champions taken care of with this build as well, just with our guns, but we can also obviously slow them, freeze them, cause ignitions. There's a lot of different ways to stun champions with this build. Now, when we move on to our Magooser build with mods, as well as that triple 100s, Resilience, Recovery, Discipline, stack those out as high as we could for survivability so we can get our Rift, and then we can get our Grenade, helping us to get all those turrets very, very easily and stay alive. As for the mods, we're going with Heavy Ammo Finder again, so we can get that Finality's Auger, always having a turret up, Strand Siphon, Harmonic Siphon, as well as Reaper to help us to create a bunch of different orbs of power. When we use our class ability, we're going to have all those orbs of power collect to us, which in general is going to be great because we can get Bomber to proc when we cast our Rift, get all those orbs to collect to us, which will help us to proc what is on our legs right here. Recuperation, get some health back, Orbs of Restoration, as well as Absolution to get back our abilities. So we're going to have our Incendiary Snap, and again, being able to spam our Grenade, consume it for that turret, as well as Arc Souls, or throw it out, depending on you. On top of that, Bolstering Detonation, Impact Induction, Focusing Strike, so we're going to get our class ability when we do damage with our melee, class ability when we do damage with our Grenade, and then we are going to get our Grenade back a little bit faster again with doing damage with our powered melees. So internal feedback loop helping us to get all of those. Picking up Orbs of Power helps us get all of our abilities back, plus we can spam them pretty good with having 100 Discipline, being able to use that turret, Stasis turret, and throw out that Grenade. Now on your chest piece, I always say for that endgame content, just pick and choose whatever you are getting hit by the most, whatever has that 25% damage increase. So the GM I was going through had a bunch of Arc and Solar going on, so that is why I had double Arc and 1 Solar. But again, totally up to you. If you really need it, you can throw on something like Harmonic and then get your Sniper Melee Concussive Dampener. Totally up to you and the content that you are trying to tackle with this build. Last but certainly not least, on our little rune tablet right here, we're going to have that Unstoppable Fusion, Piercing Sidearms, and Overload Trace Rifles. We're actually taking the entire bottom row right here with Beam Medic, Elemental Siphon, Harsh Refraction, and Limit Break. So Beam Medic, when we get those defeats with the Trace Rifles, we're going to be able to heal ourselves and our nearby allies. Elemental Siphon, Kinetic Final Blows, or weapons matching our super are going to create even more elemental pickups for us. Harsh Refraction, those Trace Rifles do more damage to targets affected by elemental debuffs, matching it. So all that Scorch that we got going on going to help with our Aisha's Dejection. And then Limit Break, our super is going to do more damage when we are critically wounded or have an elemental buff matching that super type. We're going to have Unraveling Orbs for our sidearm. We're going to go with Disruptor Spike. Nothing else really in this column spoke to me, so we just threw that on to improve Exhaust and Sever effects. Hordes Shuffle with all of the unraveling that we're getting from the orbs. We're going to get a good amount of Threadlings to spawn. We're never going to run out of special ammo with that dreadful finisher, so finishers on powerful combatants give us and our allies special ammo. Finishers on subjugators, champions, tormentors always spawn more ammo, which is super nice. And then last but not least, particle reconstruction. That linear fusion we got in our heavy in Finality's Augment is going to create even more weakening effect to do more damage on some of those bosses, mini bosses, champions. With, like I said, Limit Break, we're going to be able to do even more damage in that super. So very good little build. Like I said, it is easy to get everything to proc. You throw down your Rift, you're going to get Helion. You consume your Grenade, you're going to get Stasis Turret and Arc Soul, and then you are also getting the Finality's Augment to proc and shoot down all of those enemies. You can stun champions with it. It clears out a path for you, and it's autonomous. All of them are, so you don't really got to do a single thing. You are just staying alive, shooting targets at the same time. It is a beautiful little combination, easy for anybody to use in any type of content. Went through the Warden of Nothing GM with 2 randoms that didn't pop pop their supers until literally the final boss. So I popped about 4 supers, did the most clearing of ads by far, produced the most orbs by far, really kept the team on their toes because all they were doing is sitting back, doing absolutely nothing behind a barricade, but I was getting up in there as a Warlock, stunning champions, producing all of these turrets, and making that GM a breeze. So, really appreciate you guys for always coming back. Definitely check out this Warlock build, check out all the builds that we have on the channel. You can do that by liking, subscribing, hit that bell so you will get all the notifications on videos that we put out, whether it's guides like this, god roll guides for weapons, etc., or just guides to help you through some type of content. Like I'll definitely do one for our last strike that is coming out in Act 3, as well as some of the Rite of the Nine content to help you guys through those contest mode dungeons. But again, really appreciate you guys for always coming back. Hopefully y'all are ready for a lot of content in Act 3, and then we're gonna get some nice new good things hopefully coming in Destiny in Apollo, so hopefully y'all are here for that as well. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a fantastic week. Peace.